Alright, you guys, I'm getting a couple of questions and making 2 videos in one night. It's 9:36, I just got done making one and editing it by like 9:30. Well, anyways, what was I going to get into on this? Okay, let's start from the beginning. People have been asking, Blake, what happened to your truck, your S10 Extreme? Well, I decided that after 11 years of owning the S10 Extreme and maintaining it and keeping it up, that I'd find a nice Integra that's not beat the fuck up, and have me a little project car. Because when I had my CRX when I was 16, 17, I loved that thing. You know what I mean? 20 bucks in the tank and you're good for a while, depending on how hard you drive. And anyways, so picking up this Acura Integra, the guy called me and was like, I got this Integra. Do you want to hear the good part? And I was like, what do you mean the good part? He's like, it has a Honda CR-V B20B, which is like, I think it comes in the Del Sols or no, not the Del Sols, because those are VTECs, but most of them. But this isn't the B20Z or whatever. The Z is in the United States. The B20B is from Japan. So I got a receipt from him ordering it. Like, this kid's got like $8,000 in receipts that he left me with for this Honda. He made a project out of it. Low cost, so really didn't tap into the motor, which I was very happy. And I know that these motors and transmissions that you pick up from Japan, man, they swap them out at 60,000 miles and just put everything brand new. I love that. I wish I could do that in Japan, live in Japan, and just swap out trains for, you can go pick up one for $100, $50 and install it. It's like doing a transmission flush is like, fuck that. I'm just gonna go buy a new transmission. Well, in the United States, unfortunately, there's differences in the ones that come from Japan and the ones in America. Like, the transmission that came with this motor, I'm not sure what it came out of. I know that a lot of CRV parts fit when it comes to the motor. In which I'm thinking maybe it was a CRV that was out in Japan and it was produced in Japan or whatever, and that's just the way they make their stuff. There's little differences, like the IAC, the auto air control valve and stuff. Like, they put the secondary one on the Accords, and and they don't do that with the Japanese motors, from what they told me in their videos. They didn't have that because the early 90s Acuras have a bad tendency to have terrible idle surge, which I watched the video on that earlier. And anybody I find that has an Accord and is like, what the hell is this, I can know exactly where to start. If it goes beyond there, like the EGR and the PCB valve and O2 sensors and stuff, you never know. But yeah, so okay, I got a hold of the Integra. The kid came over. I was like, this is perfect. It's got a swap in it, and I'm gonna do 5-speed. I'm sorry. Swap on the transmission, LS, and I would like to find like a B16 head and work over the B16 head, and then while the B16 head's on the car, work over the B20 and see what kind of horsepower I'm pulling. I'm just scared to put it on dyno, because all the videos online, the fucking cars blowing up on the dyno and stuff. But a lot of those are nitrous and stuff, and I don't like that. You know what I mean? If you want to slap a turbo on it, you got a good motor, slap a turbo on a Honda, and it's just fun car, really fun. And that's what I was thinking I'm gonna do. But this motor has high compression. It's a high compression coming from Japan. So I need to pick up something with a lower compression. Everyone's telling me B16A. So I'm gonna have to go, and I'm gonna have to tap into this wiring harness and hook everything up. Shouldn't be that big of a pain in the neck. They said that just mark where everything was plugged into and you'd be okay. Um, you know you have to know every part that you're plugging into and where they need to go and route them accordingly. Which I'll probably have a friend help me. You want to triple check your wiring when it comes to that, because you go to turn that key and it's either gonna crank up or it's gonna pop every damn solenoid or fuse or something crazy. Not literally, but some crazy shit. So I've got the Integra. Straight off the bat, I have to lift it off the ground. This is terrible. So I go to my buddy's house and we jack it up and look at what's going on with the front. Like immediately, you can see there's been a significant spring cuttage or heated up, or no, they weren't heated up at all, because they were straight as an arrow. Which they are good springs if you want to drop your front. Like, you have to be kind of careful when you're driving. I have these springs for sale too, and a set of rear lowering springs, in which the car kind of needs a coilover setup, or the correct setup to put a lowering spring in. And right now I have all four stock struts and everything, the mounting, everything. So I'm working through that. If you want to get a hold of me, and I will, I don't want full price. If you want all four springs and you see the pictures of my car, you can dump your Integra like that. You can always, they make these little blocks that you twist in your springs. You can tighten those up and lift the car up a little bit, and it won't be so bad to scraping the ground. I really could have done that if I wanted to, but I just went and bought all four new struts, because when we lifted the car up, when we were initially looking at it, it was you could see the rear spring wasn't sitting correctly in its cup. So the kid didn't know what he was doing. I don't know how old he was, but he definitely did not know what he was doing. I've gone over this car and made sure that I've gone through everything that he rigged on it and made it right. So people ask, why did you want to get rid of the truck? That S10 was full power, everything. I have no real reason other than it's time to move on and get another car and work on it. I have goals with this car. The S10 was this. When the time was to come put tires on it, I was at the point where I don't give a shit what is on it. It can be all four different sizes, as long as I can make it to certain places or whatever. This little car, the gas difference is I throw $20 in the Honda or the Honda Acura, both. That's what the damn car is. And the S10 Extreme, the 4.3, $20 will not even touch it. Like, no half a tank. I get 3/4 of a tank with $20, $25, even $25 in my S10 with the 4.3. It's just, I had open straight piping with a Cadillac converter, and it just got terrible gas mileage. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't afford it. Made it to the point where I just didn't want to drive it, because I had a quarter tank. If I had to drive around the neighborhood, it was gonna be gone and stuff. Like, I was relying on going up my steep driveway so the gas gauge would go up a little bit, because I just couldn't afford it. So with this now, it runs cheap. It's awesome, cool. Just happy with the trade and everything. just working on the car. I got it up now on OEM struts, and happy with that. I got some tires for it to make it stand right without being dumped. And I got awesome shocks. They're a little bit bouncy, but really the car holds the road. I went a little bit taller and wider on the tires in the front, and I'll do the back eventually, but it looks great. You know what I mean? And with this front wheel drives, you want your tread in the front for the most part. You want it everywhere, but in the front you're gonna grip more. So other than that, just happy with a new project. Keep me busy. God knows I need it at this time, just to stay busy, but that's all for now, and I'm gonna get off of here, and that's the end of my movies, I think, for tonight. I just wanted to do an update to people wondering why I got rid of my truck. The transmission was starting to feel a little bit lumpy to me. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad transmission or motor at all. It ran like a champ. It just, was doing the thudding thing, and I had the opportunity to get on something different through a company that, I probably shouldn't name for rights and stuff, but online. Starts with a C, that's all I'm gonna say. But I found, or the guy found my truck on there, and he called me up and said, I'm gonna send you some pictures, and I was interested from the get-go. Either I was wanting a crotch rocket or a Honda, a nice Honda, and I got a nice Honda Acura. So now it's just, to get it right for Blizzard Blake. Nice things, and switching things around, painting, and just making a cool car. Like I said, I got small things to come, but the biggest thing next is gonna be possibly tires and wheels or a turbo setup. You know what I mean? Because I found all the parts and stuff, and not at $1,000, but with me doing the work, or me and my buddies doing the work, it's more like a $800-900 job, making it a 5-speed instead of $1,500 and someone having to pay somebody. The only time I'm gonna pay for something if it needs to be in a welding shop, and that's that, you know what I mean, or the exhaust needs to be taken care of. Other than that, I can spin wrenches all damn day, and I do. So, bam. See things to come. But peace out, dudes and dudettes, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.